Good morning, 7th and 8th graders and 7th and 8th grade parents. I am delighted to be greeting you from the beautiful campus of Veritas Classical Academy. I am looking forward to the 2020-2021 school year, and I'm looking forward to welcoming you back to campus in a few short weeks. I have a few notes of orientation and then my contact information as well in this video, so I'd like you to just feel welcomed. This school year will look different, but I am excited about all of the learning that it's going to hold. Let's get started. This is me, your homeroom teacher, Mrs. Smith. Some of you have met me and some of you will be new to my class, so I'd like to welcome you, and I'm excited about our journey of learning together. I'm going to be teaching 2 of your classes in addition to being kind of the boss of the classroom for 7th and 8th grade. The 2 classes that I have are composition and grammar and literature. I have a bachelor's degree in English from Veritas College. And while I was there, I also studied economics. So every few years, I do get the chance to teach economics at Veritas as well. I attended Indiana Wesleyan University after undergrad for education. And because I can't get enough, I am almost done with my master's in English from Ohio University. So I've got a couple classes, and then my thesis will wrap that up soon. So I'm in it with you guys. I'm a student with you guys, and I know what it is to have to study and balance life and school. Things I like to do: I love to read, I love to remodel old houses, and I really like to cook as more of a science than a job. So those are some things that I like to do. This is my adorable husband, Ryan. He is my partner in crime. And the star of many of my examples. If I have to give an example of something in class, sometimes Ryan will make an appearance. So now you have a face to put with that name. We've been married over 15 years. And a fun fact is that we have moved a lot due to education and work. We've had 11 houses in 3 states and 6 different cities, I think. And the first 10 of our moves were in the first 10 years of our marriage. So we've entered a relatively stable season the last 5.5 years, just right here in Marietta. My husband's a lawyer. He deals with real estate and also estate planning down in Marietta. I also have 5 great kids there. Wilkie is my oldest, and she'll actually be joining us in class as a 7th grader this year. And then my youngest is Rosie. She's there 3, and this is a big year for her because she's going to start Montessori. And of course, we've got Oliver, Lena, and Georgia in the middle. I also got a couple of dogs this year. We adopted Max and Mario, these 2 fluff balls, this summer. So if you had me in class, you know miracles can happen. The Smith family did get dogs. So those are my little other additions. So cute. This is our classroom. You can really only see just a little bit of it behind me, but we have the best classroom in the building. And I love it here. The light is good. It's not too hot. Lots of space, great desks, so many good things about our classroom. Like I said, we have the best room in the building, and you each get your own spacious desk with several drawers to keep all your supplies in. So that's going to come in really handy this year, as we're not going to have shared supplies. You'll have plenty of space to keep your things at your desk, and you won't have to be getting up to get them from a common space or your locker. Like I said, we're not going to have common supplies this year, and we have done our best to distance the desks. Almost every seat is 6 feet from another, and I'm working on distancing them from the front as well. So if you have questions about that, that is one thing that we are able to do in the classroom, which has been good because not everybody has a large enough room to do that at other places. Each student will also either get a locker, or I have some cubbies, and so everybody will have their own private place to keep their things, such as a coat, backpack, lunchbox. In most cases, the teachers will come to you in the 7th and 8th grade class. So history will be here, Latin will be here, science will be here. You won't have to be moving around the building a whole lot, which will be great. This little corner here by the door of our classroom is what I like to call Planning Central. We've got our clock, we know what time it is. We've got our calendar there, and we try to put class dates on there. We also have the class rules, and then that little whiteboard for assignments at a glance. Those brown and tan pockets are for makeup work, and I'm going to try to make that very available for us in the event that you have to be away from school. I want to make makeup work very easy, so we'll be keeping some makeup work there and trying to really stay on top of that. That whiteboard we do try to maintain, but it is your responsibility as a jacket to manage your assignments. So if it's not up there, that's still on you, that you take care of your assignments. But that's a really handy place to check things out and make sure you're on top of things. I've got our supply list here. This is the supply list that was sent out by school as well. These are the supplies that you'll need. 3 binders. We've got history, composition, and literature. You're going to need lots of notebook paper and tab dividers for those binders. In addition, you'll need a notebook, some note cards, and then a student planner with a 1-week spread. So when you open your planner up, you can see 5 days or 7 days, so that you can see what you have going on the whole week. That's important, and that does get graded in our composition and grammar class, just as a way to keep motivating you to build that habit. Though you may be able to stay on top of things by memory now, if you don't build that habit, once things get busy as you get older into high school and college, you'll wish that you had built that habit while it was easier. We need blue and black pens as well as colored pens. I've got a picture of my favorite inexpensive ones, but any kind of pens will do. The blue and black for taking notes, and the colored pens are great for doing some editing in our grammar and composition, and you'll find that you may have other uses for them throughout the day as well. Don't forget pencils, highlighters, a pad of sticky notes, and then we like to use sticky flags in literature, so keep some of those around. We also have some class supplies that were on the list. I do want you to know that I know some of those supplies are scarce, and we have a decent supply coming in from spring, so these can come at any time during the school year rather than at the beginning. Do what works for you and what you find is available and affordable. That's 2 packages of wide dry erase markers. We have whiteboards that we use for almost every class that you'll have. 2 boxes of tissues. 2 cleaning products of your choice. This could be a spray, this could be wipes, this could be anything that you would like. We will use those at your desks as well as in common spaces. So anything that you choose, and again, I don't need those necessarily on the first day of school. We do want you to have a bottle of hand sanitizer at your desk, just so when you're coming back into the classroom, that's a really easy thing. If you want to have your own hand sanitizing spray, or if you're the type to want to make it out of essential oils and have your own thing, that's fine. Pick your choice and keep that at your desk. And then we will also have our other supplies, as I mentioned earlier, at your desk. So we want to just have everything that you need. If there are things that are not on the list that you would like to have at your desk, you're welcome to it. As long as they're not a distraction or a violation of any of the school policies, you are more than welcome to keep, your own stapler in your desk or other things that you find help your learning process or your comfort. Speaking of desks, we have some great desks, but you'll see this unsightly back of your desk. It's probably 18 inches wide by 2 feet tall, and they've got the numbers there. So I want to challenge you to decorate your desk. Either on orientation night, you can bring those things in if you do choose to come to in-person orientation, or the first day of school. You can add wallpaper, wrapping paper, maybe you want to add a coloring sheet or quotations or paper flowers. They can be 3-dimensional items, again, as long as they're not distracting or a violation of school policies or just in the way. You can put whatever, and there's plenty of space between the back of your desk and the front of the next person's desk for you to jazz that up a little. So that always makes the classroom a little bit more flavorful. I'll have adhesives and tapes if you need to affix those things, but feel free to bring the decorations of your choice for the back of your desk. Now we're going to move into things about your classes and your teachers, and here's a nice view of those whiteboards and Planning Central and our bulletin boards and everything all in one photo. I teach literature, I mentioned, and we have some great reading. I am very excited about the reading that we're going to do. Our literature works right alongside of our history class. So both of those will cover the time periods from about the 1490s to the 1790s. So I like to say that it's the Reformation to the Revolution, because we do see those time periods during our history. We're going to read several plays, Coriolanus, Richard III, and Bartholomew Fair. Those are going to be a good time, and we'll try to make those interesting and engaging as well as informative. We've got several novels. We've got A Scarlet Letter, A Tale of Two Cities, and Pilgrim's Progress. So you are going to be stacking up on the classics this year in your mind as we work through those novels. And then we've got some poetry. This is not exhaustive, but these are the major works that we're going to deal with. The Rape of the Lock by Alexander Pope, which is a mock epic, and then the classic Paradise Lost. So we are going to have a great time in literature. Along with literature, I also teach composition and grammar. So we fit a lot into that composition time period. We use materials from the Institute for Excellence in Writing, and it is a solid method for just developing your repertoire as a writer and being able to look at writing and critique it and improve it well. So we use both the composition that you see there and then also the fix-it grammar. Fix-it grammar is a lot of fun. Up until this point, you may have been just studying grammar rules and making sure that you know the rules. Now we're going to apply that. So the way that we do that in fix-it grammar is we start with a story. The story this year is Little Mermaid. Last year was Chanticleer. And each day we're going to look at just a couple of sentences. We're going to edit them. We're going to mark them up, look for the issues, and we're going to talk about issues each week that we should be on the lookout for. And then at the end of the week, you're going to rewrite them properly. So we'll have a really comfortable rhythm in our grammar of looking at a sentence a day or a couple of sentences a day and then rewriting them at the end. And that turns out to be a lot of fun because the story builds every week, and then we move through the story together. We have some other teachers helping. We've got a rock star team of other teachers who will be bringing in those other subjects. For math, we have Big Ideas Math 7 and Big Ideas Math 8 with Mrs. Taylor. Mrs. Taylor loves math and she loves teaching, and you will be in good hands there. If you are an 8th grader that does move up to 9th grade, you'll have Mr. Sears, but almost all of you will have math with Mrs. Taylor. Over here we have Mr. Schaefer. He'll have 2 classes for you, that history that I mentioned earlier, and then also your Latin. We also have some science, music, and art, and we do have a couple of other subjects that I'm not going to mention here. Your science is brought to you by Mrs. McKay, and she is exciting and enthusiastic. You're going to love her. We've got music with Mrs. Doherty, and that will now be held in the gym where we have a lot more airspace, and she's going to tackle the year creatively, and she's really excited about what we're going to be doing in music. Then we have art with Mr. Schenkel, and he is really great about integrating the subjects that you're dealing with and the time periods that you're dealing with the technique and the subject matter in your art, and you're going to see some examples of art from the time periods that we're studying. So that will be really exciting. Lastly, I wanted to give you some contact info for me. I know you probably have questions about how the school year is going to look, and the school has been releasing some information, but sometimes there's just little things that you want to know. So I want you to know that you can reach out to me before the school year and also during the school year. Use me as a resource. I'm on your side, and if I know of a problem or a concern, I'm going to address that. So the easiest way to reach me is probably email. That's renglandsmith@yahoo.com. And that's in all of our paperwork as well. My cell phone number is 330-749-5147. Probably the easiest way to reach me is text, because as I said, I do have 5 kids, and of course I'm teaching during the day. So it's nice to be able to have something that I can get on my time and get back to you. But you can call if you need as well, or you can reach me at the school. I am at Veritas quite a bit right now, preparing for the school year, and of course during the school year I'm here as well, and you can schedule a time to meet with me in person or just catch me before or after the school day if you want to sign in and come talk to me. I try to get back to messages within a day or so, especially if those are text messages where we can start a conversation. I try to do that. So just don't reach me late at night or at 4 in the morning, and we'll be on good terms there. I also want to remind you about your jackets. Those of you who are going to be new to the Veritas or new to the 7th grade, you need to have your Veritas jacket. You'll want to have that labeled with your name. I'm not sure how the jacketing ceremony will work, but you will be presented your jacket and given the responsibilities and privileges that it affords during a more formal ceremony. So put that on a hanger and tack your name on the inside of the collar in some way so we know who belongs to what jacket. Again, please reach out if you have any questions. I'm really delighted to teach 7th and 8th grade and the English that I teach, and I'm looking forward to spending the school year with you all.